Good morning, everyone. Chris here. Now, it's been a while since I shared a video because, Christmas and end of the semester and general overload. So we are still safe and sound in where am I? St. Augustine, Florida. And it is the Wednesday after Christmas, so it's time to start getting back to work. And I was hoping to install this lovely little robot gentleman in our plumbing system, because when we bought the boat it didn't have any plumbing on it, so we had to add most of the stuff, and in my haste I forgot to add a temperature safety valve. So I'm going to add this so I stop burning my hands on when I do the dishes. But because it's a sailboat and an older boat, she's a 1989, there's always something. And that something right now is electrical. So last night one of our lights changed. So when we're plugged into shore power, there's a little green light down there, and that little green light turned red, and that meant that the polarity reversed. And usually when that happens, it's not a big deal. It's usually the cord coming loose, and there's 3 plongs on a 30 amp, and if one of them pops out and you only have 2, you get that. So I run out there and I'm plugging it in and out, and then I run to the pedestal and I'm plugging it in and out. And then just to be safe, I tried a different pedestal and same problem. Which means what probably happened, and I'm hoping it's here because this will be the easier to access one, is that one of the 3 wires that go from the plug to the panel most likely overloaded and burnt out. So we probably just have 2. And it's very, very frustrating. Especially since the plan for the summer is to take this panel and replace it and redo all of the wiring in the boat, because it looks as though the AC wiring, even though it's set up for 30 amps, is wired for 15 amps, maybe 20. So when we use our full power, which we do, and we're running the oven, the water heater, and the ice maker. So last night I forgot to turn one of them off. So we can run 2 of them, but not 3 of them. Last night I'm guessing all 3 turned on at the same time, and then poof. So anyway, that's today. And then we're only going to have shore power while we're here. And then we probably won't have shore power again until after I redo the panel next summer. So, but first things first, because we need electricity to keep the solenoid open for gas, and I need tea. There we go. All right, so of course this happened yesterday after dark. So it was too dark to fix it, and I just turned it off at the pedestal. So I've been up since 5:30 waiting for the sunlight to be able to do this. So let's dig in, and hopefully we can patch this so that it'll last the next 2 months we're here. And then we're going to rewire the whole darn boat, which I'm super looking forward to. This is one of the reasons why. I think I found the problem. Oh, heavens. I cannot wait to redo all of this, because this is not good. Anyway, I don't think we're going to be running the hot water heater willy-nilly anytime soon. It's time to turn on the electricity, but before we do that, we're going to disconnect it from here. All right, there we go. Power on at the pedestal, unplugged at the boat, and the breakers off at the boat. So we're going to step this one at a time and make sure everything is not catching on fire. All right, first test, light at the plug. So we have electricity here, and we're going to plug it in. No sounds of sparks, no sounds of anything crazy. Now, in here we go. So I've got the panel placed, and I'm nervous to hit the button. Let's do it. Please be green. We want this to turn green and this not to turn on at all. Alrighty, that is a good sign. And our ice maker is happy. Anyway, I'm going to close this up and put my tools away. Which I'm very, very happy that I bought. The super automatic stripper, totally worth the money. And the ratcheting crimp connector, again, totally worth the money. I had crap at these tools for the longest time, and when I got these, I'm excited about rewiring the boat because I have these. Screw all these 6 back in to get it together, which is one of the things I'm changing when I redo this panel. So one of the things I love about this boat in particular is not anything to do with the boat itself, but has to do with Facebook. There is a Facebook group just for people who own this specific boat, because there were so many of them. And on that group, I saw a gentleman who redid his electrical system and his panel, and what he did was he took that panel out and put a plate on there for all of his radios. So all of his radios have a really nice mounting piece, and they're not put in like crap like this. And then he tore this entire section out and put a beautiful piece of wood up with his panel, and then he put his panel on hinges so it could just flop down and he could work on it whenever he wanted. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm going to put my radio panel on hinges so it'll swing this way so I can work on the back of the radios, hopefully never, and then they'll slide back real easy. And then the electrical panel is gonna like fold down on hinges with a little thing so that when I'm redoing everything, I just have easy access. And I'm going to do key boat systems first, like the bilge pump and the anchor light, because we're going to be on a mooring when I do this. And then after that, we'll do line by line and stuff like that. And it'll be up and down probably for a month or two. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to not only replace the panel, which is a whole lot of years old, but all of the wiring. We're going to replace everything that's not engine related. The previous owner redid the wiring in the mast, so we're going to use the mast wiring. But everything else, we're going to redo completely. The only other thing we're not going to redo is the wiring for the fridge, which bypasses the panel. It has its own breaker. The wiring for the inverter, for the same reason, and the wiring for the windlass, for yet again the same reason. That's on its own whole power supply, and it has all its stuff that goes to the batteries. Anyway, always an adventure, and maybe I'll do the plumbing stuff tomorrow, because we have another project starting in about half an hour. And some of you who've watched my videos for a while may remember the P-O-O-P flag. That's right, we're going to hang this because we're having the pump out boat come and visit us in a little bit. St. Augustine has a brand new pump out boat that will come to any of the marinas, which is absolutely fantastic. Actually, he's not going to have any chance of missing us because he's been here already, and you have to put your boat name, marina spot, slip number, all that jazz in his online form. And we booked a 9 o'clock appointment, and last time he came at like 5 minutes past, so I'm excited to get a pump out because our magic red light turned on the other day. But that is an adventure for another video. So now that we have working electricity, and my patch should definitely last for the 2 months that we're here, and then I'm again really looking forward to tearing all of this out and doing it robustly, thinking of being able to use a lot more electricity in the future. So these, when they were made, this one in particular, didn't even have a fridge. It just had the ice box. It was really made as like a weekend coastal cruiser, and a lot of the decisions for a lot of stuff had that in mind. So we're trying to like make her a full-time cruising liveaboard. Anyway, I will chat with you later. And I'll do a poop video right now. Well, when the guy shows up. Chat with you later. Bye.